Hi, my name is Anne, and I'm doing the Waldorf Homeschool Connection Academy with Donna Ashton. And we are so excited about this program, I can't even tell you. And the reason we're so excited is because we really thought about what it is that you would need to feel confident, to feel like you knew what you were doing, and a place to get your questions answered while you were teaching. Because I know how it is for me when I have a mentor and I would meet with them once a week, then I would have a place to bring my questions. And so we decided to start our year off with a video to talk about something that I think concerns everybody who is in, homeschool or doing a Waldorf homeschool or doing something that's different than the mainstream. Because when you are doing something different, then you are going to come up against questions or people who don't understand what you're doing, or maybe even doubts that you have yourself. So I wanted to just kind of address the issue head on and give you some ideas and some tips and some things that can help carry you through and give you some things to think about that might really help. So I wanted to start off with just the idea that sometimes when we have inner doubts, then someone can come along and question us, and we might be defensive and defend our point of view, but go home and feel, oh, I'm not really sure about that. So what I suggest is to really think about your why. Why is it that you decided to homeschool? Why is it that the Waldorf curriculum really drew you? What was it about the curriculum? What touched your heart? What really meant something to you? And get very clear about those things. Even list them out. Have a conversation with your significant other and talk about why this was the best choice for your family, and get very clear on your decision so that when you do go out and have conversations, you can be more rooted in your choice, and instead of feeling defensive, maybe have a conversation. So one of the things I do for my clients when I'm coaching, because I'm not only been a Waldorf teacher, I've also been a coach, is to ask the question, who do you admire? Who are your heroes? Because along with getting clear about your principles, about why you're doing what you're doing, you want to be very certain about your own values and how that matches up, how your choices match up with your values. So by going through this exercise, you can kind of find and kind of discover your own values and what you value in other people, but also what you value for yourself. So I just encourage people to do that type of exercise and get very clear, write it down, or just have it in your mind, whatever works for you. And the second thing I wanted to address was just the idea that when you are doing something that is different than the mainstream, that oftentimes we can feel isolated. I know as a Waldorf teacher, sometimes I had this feeling of, why am I doing something that's so different? Why can't I just do what everybody else is doing? But I knew in my heart that it just didn't really match my own values and what it is that I was standing for in the world. So one thing to do is to find people who are aligned with you. Really identify your allies in a way, your family members or friends, or people who are homeschooling that have a similar view, or people who are Waldorf homeschooling that really are in alignment with how you want to raise your child. So part of that is, of course, getting clear as to what it is that you would like to emphasize in terms of diet or media diet, or how what kinds of activities you want your children to do, and really finding those people that support that. And even creating once a month meeting, something that where you can just kind of collaborate and talk about how it's going and what are the challenges, what are the successes. Just create your own community where you can have people to discuss things with, and find a way for that to happen. The third thing I wanted to mention is just the idea of when it is that you want to communicate to maybe another family that your child is going to have a play date with another child, and you want to communicate how it is that you would like to see things go, and what your values are and what you would like to have happen. It's important, like I said before, to know your values, know your why, but also what are the specifics? What is it that you want to hold the line on, whether it's diet or whether it's activities, And what are the things that you feel like you have a little bit of wiggle room, or just, a little bit of compromise might be okay because you don't want your child to grow up in a vacuum. Some things you might feel, nope, this is it. I had a child in my class who never watched a video until she was 12 years old. And everybody knew that that was the case, so there was no big deal. And you might want to find those places for yourself. Where do you want to really hold the line and be proud about it? And where do you want to say, okay, this time it's okay. Every once in a while is fine. When we go to visit, cousin so-and-so, that's just the way it is. So you make those choices beforehand so that when they do come up, you can feel, you can say to a parent, I would love to have my child have a play date with your child. We don't watch videos. If that's okay with you, I'd love, we can brainstorm other activities. If not, love to have your child come to our house and we can entertain in the way that we entertain. So getting clear and making very clear, specific requests. That's the third thing. And then the fourth thing is that sometimes when we, talk about what we're doing, especially around children, people can get very opinionated, even to the point of being aggressive and wanting to tell you that you're doing something wrong. And it could be a close, family member, it could be a friend, it could be even a stranger that you just struck up a conversation with. So you want to prepare yourself for the best. You want to prepare yourself for the best way to answer those questions. And one of those things that you need to do is kind of pretend that you are getting ready for an earthquake or something, that you want to prepare and be very secure in why it is that you're doing what you're doing and how you want to respond to that person. And the first thing is to get curious about their point of view. And if you get curious about what they're doing, then you can put them at ease and they can feel like, okay, maybe I can express my opinion here. Find out, put yourself in their shoes, find out what they're thinking and why they're thinking that. And then from that point of view, you can have a more open discussion and, be open to what they're saying and not feel like they're just going to push you over, but that you can both have your opinions and you can, have a debate and really, kind of work through some of the ideas. So just to summarize, the first thing is to get clear on your values, get clear on what it is that why you've chosen this type of education. Second thing is to kind of find your allies and to get real clear about your community. The third thing is to make specific requests, especially of parents where your children are going to be interacting with their children. And then the third thing is to get yourself ready for people that are going to confront you and are going to challenge you, by getting clear on why you're doing what you're doing. And then also preparing yourself in a way energetically of how you want to meet someone who is feeling diametrically opposed to how you are deciding to raise your child. So I hope some of those things are helpful, and we're very excited about this program and hope to see you as part of that as well. And have a great day. All right, bye-bye.